FL Studio, Cubase. Which of these DAW is good for music production? You think it's FL Studio, he also think it's Cubase, or he thinks it's Cubase and you also think it's FL Studio. So whichever way it is, whether FL Studio or Cubase, I've been using Cubase and FL Studio for 9 to 10 years now, and I want to share my opinions on which of them is good for music production. So I'm going to share with you the pros and cons of FL Studio since I've been using it for almost a decade now. I go by the name King Series. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and let us talk about these two big DAWs in the music industry right now. Okay, so I'm going to share my opinions and my experience with these two DAW over here, the pros and cons of FL Studio and Cubase over here. So I've listed some points over here. I'm going to look on it and just discuss it with you. So if you think what I'm saying is right, just tell me in the comment section there. If it's wrong, tell me in the comment section there. What I've experienced and my opinion is what I'm actually going to share with you guys. So let's just get into it. So I'm starting with FL Studio now. So FL Studio, first of all, if you're a beginner and you want to come into the music industry, like you want to be a beat maker or producer or anything, and or you are using other DAW and you want to choose between Cubase and FL Studio. For FL Studio, what I would say is the pros. First of all, it is user friendly. Yes, user friendly, because if you're a beginner and you just see FL Studio for the first time, you would love to make a beat with it. Yes, you want to interact with the software, know how everything actually goes. Yes, so the interface of FL Studio is really nice and good. For the first time you just see it, you are not scared that am I supposed to do this or this and that, or can I do this, or all these kind of questions which will come into your head will not really come into your head. I mean, you just feel okay trying to experience it and trying to experiment with it will be okay and easy for you. So their interface is actually welcoming for you to actually interact with the software. So that's the first thing for FL Studio here. Then the next thing is their piano rolls and MIDI editing. What do I mean by their piano rolls and MIDI editing? If you go to FL Studio and let's say you are making a beat, you play everything, you can play keyboard, you just go inside the piano roll, you can do some editing with an ease, which is not going to be difficult for you to do those editings inside. Or even if you don't know how to play keyboard, but you have this music theory in your head, you understand music theory and know your whereabouts when it comes to music theory. Trust me, as a beginner going in for FL Studio, you can just be drawing the notes and MIDI and just editing it to make your own melody, whichever way it is, with an ease which you will not be stressing yourself around. So the MIDI roll and MIDI editing, or piano roll and MIDI editing, is actually good and easy to interact with as a beginner, or even if you are moving from other DAW to FL Studio. So FL Studio is +2 over there. Now the third one is making a beat. If you want to make a beat, FL Studio is easy for making a beat. So if you want to be a beat maker and become good with it, between Cubase and FL Studio, I would say go in for FL Studio, because their beat making is really easy for a beginner to start with. Yes, or even if you are moving from other DAW and you don't want to be stressing yourself, you just want to interact with it, then FL Studio is good for you when it comes to their beat making. I like it and I love it the way it is. When I started, I was trying to find my way between Studio One, Cubase, and FL Studio, then Pro Tools. But I think FL Studio was the one that got me making much more beats, which made me fall in love with FL Studio more. Yes. So I think FL Studio, when it comes to beat making, is the number one over there. You can just go in as a beginner and be okay with it. Even if you are switching from other DAW, like I said earlier on, you can just go straight to it and it will help you a lot. And the next one is FL Studio will give you a huge plugin library. What do I mean by that? If you don't have money to invest in other third-party plugins, as a beat maker or sound engineer, mixing engineering, then meaning you're supposed to go in for FL Studio as a beginner, because you don't have much money to invest in other third-party plugins. If you're making a beat, you need drum kits, you need tones, and you need some effect on your melodies and your drums or anything just to make it nice and sweet better, right? Cubase also have stock plugins which are free, and FL Studio also have stock plugins, but comparing the two, I think FL Studio has much more that can actually help you way better. So those are the good things that I like about FL Studio. There are more, so those are a few things that I really like about FL Studio. There are more, but I think these ones are okay for you to start with as a beginner if you are trying to switch to FL Studio. So the bad ones, which I think can be not really bad, but things that I think can be really much better for me to take only FL Studio as my DAW in terms of music production is their recording and audio editing. When it comes to that, I really found it difficult to edit it, but I watched some tutorials on YouTube and I see some people just going about it and they are okay with that because of how long they have been using the software. So for them it's quite okay. But I think they have been improving on it just to change it, yes, which is quite okay as compared to in the olden days. But right now it looks okay and much better than before. But comparing that one to Cubase, I think they need to do a lot much better on that one too. Okay, and another thing which I think they can actually change for me personally is their mixing and routing. Yes, when it comes to their mixer is okay for mixing and everything, but when you are routing or sending certain things, you need to be creating them and stuff. The way it is kind of complicated for me in a way. I don't know, it's because I've been using the Cubase in doing those things. When it comes to those ones, really kind of complicated for me in those ways. So I think that one too, if they do change it, I'll be actually okay with and happy with that much more. But whichever way it is, somebody like it. So these are my opinions, right? And the last one is if you are using FL Studio for live performance or live sessions, FL Studio doesn't really go in well with me for their live session. Yes, so I think for the live session they lack a little bit of things there, which they need to put much features inside. Okay, so that is for FL Studio. Now let us move on to Cubase. So for Cubase, their pros, the good things that I really like about them is when it comes to their audio editing and audio recording, I really like it, the way it is easy for you to just go in and record as a beginner. So far as you have been able to set your mic, your sound card and everything in place, just recording, then you are just going. Editing the audio too is really easy according to their tools over there. I really love it and I like the way it is. It's easy for you to just enter as a beginner. You are not going to stress yourself around those things. So far as if you give yourself time, let's say a week, 2 or 3, 4 hours in practicing for 2-3 weeks, you'll be able to go with the flow fast and just move on with your audio editing and everything. Yes. And the next one is mixing and routing. So when it comes to the mixing and routing of certain groups or scents or anything, it's actually easy when it comes to those things, mixing and routing. Cubase is easy. So if you are just sound engineer that you want to move to any DAW to work with in terms of mixing and mastering of song, Cubase is really best for that. Their automation, mixing and routing, their routing and automation, sense effect, everything is actually nice and okay and good to go with. It doesn't actually stress you out what to do. This one, are you doing it the right way, the wrong way? It's just easy for you to go ahead and do that. The thing that I really don't like about Cubase is their beat making section. If you're a beginner and you want to start making beats using Cubase, it's really hard as a beginner, but if you just go along with it for some time, practice for some time, like a couple of times, then you are good to go. Yes, you can make beats inside Cubase, but for the start as a beginner, switching from other DAW to this, you are not going to find it really easy, unlike FL Studio. You get me? Yeah, so the beat making section should be actually be flexible for me in a way as compared to FL Studio. And the last one is, which I will compare both the Cubase and the FL Studio, is their cost. If you buy FL Studio once, if you buy FL Studio for the first time, that's all. It's lifetime investment. All you have to do is just update it, and the update too is for free. But for Cubase, you purchase the next time you need to, like, it's not just one time purchase for Cubase. For FL Studio, it's one time purchase. You buy it for once and the rest is just update. So those are the two things which I think Cubase too should actually do something about it. So which of them is good for music production? Is it FL Studio or Cubase? In my opinion, I would say it depends on you, but in my opinion, FL Studio is good for beat making and like beat productions and stuff. It's really good for you as a beginner, or you are just switching from other DAW to these two DAWs. It's good for you there. So if you are just a beat maker and you want that, I would say go in for FL Studio and try using it, and you could actually go along with it. It's good and perfect for beat making and all those things. Yes, but when it comes to recording sessions, recording vocals or other instrument or anything, I think Cubase got it. Yes, recording and mixing the song, mastering and everything, I like Cubase more than FL Studio. But in general, all of them are powerful DAW which people use in making commercial songs that you have been listening. So So these are my thoughts and my opinions on these two DAW softwares over here. So comment down there what you think is best or wrong in your own way, what you think is best or right in your own way down there, and we'll just interact over there and have ideas. So this is your boy King Series, straight from your sound mix. More of podcast coming your way. It's your boy King Series, yes, and I'm out.